Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual date, reference 15053. You can see this vintage two-tone Rolex and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch, with additional accessories included, high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the Oyster Perpetual date is the smaller brother to the well-known 36mm Datejust. Mechanically, they're identical, the main difference being the Datejust is 36 and this is a 34mm timepiece. Now 34mm is the measurement across the round of the case. In terms of thickness, it has a nicely sloped engine-turned 18-karat bezel and a nicely rounded acrylic crystal above that, so it's easy to get a dress cuff or a tight sleeve to ramp up over this 12.5mm thick watch. From lug to lug, it is quite tidy, 42mm from extremity to extremity, so even if you have a smaller wrist, down to about 13 centimeters in circumference, you're going to be able to wear this watch very easily with great proportion and security. It's also a perfect choice for those who like a small watch that makes a powerful statement. 34mm and two-tone gold in Rolex will do that. And again, this one really respects mid-century conventions of formal men's watches at 34mm. Now it's paired with a rather sporting Oyster bracelet. Sometimes these come on Jubilee style bracelets, but with the 3-link Oyster, this one's a little bit more aggressive. Now the 3-link is more massive in appearance, but beautifully finished in detail. You can see the flanks are nicely polished, the shoulder links feature a satin or brushed finish, and the center intermediate links in 18-karat gold are high polished. Now the bracelet is significantly newer than the watch itself. The watch, a 7 million series serial number, dates to 1983. The bracelet and the clasp, and it is a reference 78353 with 457 end pieces. The bracelet dates to approximately 1994, so you're getting a great value with a much more modern bracelet in condition that far surpasses that of surviving Oysters from 1983, so it's nice to have a bracelet that is correct to the model but a generation newer for condition and aesthetics. You'll also note that the watch looks very much like the Datejust. At first glance, they're basically indistinguishable. The outright size, not so much the proportions, being the main distinguishing factor. Now the watch has a wonderful engine-turned 18-karat bezel. This isn't the conventional fluted bezel that you see on most Datejusts and many two-tone date models. The fluted bezel is common. The engine-turned bezel is far less so. Moreover, the watch has a beautiful acrylic crystal such that you get that vintage distortion effect across the dial. Like an old dive watch, it really has a little tendency to warp and curve and do all sorts of interesting things with light and angles. So this is a fascinating watch to observe in direct sunlight, not the least of which because it has a rich sunburst grain at center. The dial has a rich sunburst grain and outstanding condition considering its age. Along with the vintage aesthetic of the acrylic, this one also has an original and beautifully aged tritium dial. All of the lume dots outboard of the hour indices have aged to a color that's almost a perfect match for the applied yellow gold itself. Watch has the correct date disc with quick set function. This is a caliber 3035 inside, the 3035 being part of the first family of modern Rolex movements, so automatic winding, free sprung, and chronometer certified as ever. By the point of the 3035, we now had a 4 Hz beat rate, or 28,800 vibrations per hour, hacking seconds. That came along in 1971, such that when you pull the crown, stop the balance, and synchronize the time. And of course, the move from the 1500 series to the 3035 also entailed the addition of a quick set date function. Otherwise, you have the same robust automatic winding Oyster Perpetual action. It's protected underneath a satin finished caseback, 100-meter water resistant. Again, COSC certified Swiss chronometer, hacks, free sprung, Breguet overcoil hairspring, and a modern beat rate. This is a watch that doesn't ask you to give up much practicality to wear a vintage timepiece. It's a handsome watch. It's a beautifully proportioned watch. It has unusual details, and it's a fantastic starter watch if you want to buy a first vintage timepiece, or if you simply prefer traditional proportions, it's a great choice on that basis alone. You can see this vintage, circa 1983, Rolex Oyster Perpetual date reference 15053 and purchase it on our website.